now listening to The Joint Committee.
Welcome to another session of the Joint Committee Sessions. I am one of your co-hosts with the mostest, Lupino, along with East Coaster Dan.
Coaster Dan, that is me. I'm here. What's up, everybody? Been a long time. We've been busy as fuck. I mean, really busy. You always hear people say that shit, but I've even said it a lot in the past, but I've never lived this busy in my life, and it's a whole nother level. But yeah, we're here to record finally.
Holy crap!
But we're one man down, unfortunately. Mr. Bond had a last minute emergency to attend to.
Secret mission.
Yes.
An international man of secretness.
Yep. But yeah, so what's up, Mr. Lou? Anything new?
Oh man, since last time, wow, so much has happened. The Dean Church Expo went off, made history in Connecticut. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, you had the big Oakdale Theater.
Yeah, man, big expo. It was awesome.
Nice. Yeah, that was walking into that. It was not that the other ones didn't feel legit. Don't get me wrong, but walking into the Oakdale, it was like a real event. It felt authentic. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a secret, sesh looking type thing. Even though it wasn't a sesh, but like all the other spots, because you were forced to, it was kind of like a low key thing. This was more like a presentation. I mean, there was staff there who worked for the theater, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't...
Taking the door,
it was crazy. It was people parking cars, and... Yeah, it was impressive.
Thank you.
And it was cool to see, especially in your home state, especially when you guys are just starting that whole legalization,
my God, it completely fell by the wayside.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, it was so horrible. Right at the end,
well, that must be recent news.
Bailed. The legislative session is over, right? So that means that no new bills can be brought up to be make laws like that, kind of like the cutoff thing, which I also don't understand as to why, if we're paying these politicians, why don't they work like 24/7? Why is it like I know it's because it's written in there. That's their answer. Oh, it's because that's how it's written in there. It's like, well, fucking change it. Like, why aren't you guys working like all day? Like that. What else are you guys doing? You just, don't get me wrong. I appreciate, sometimes when my representative or my party ends up coming through and like, to a community event and blah, 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 blah. But listen to me. I prefer that person to be up fighting to make sure that our city is better. Not, yeah, I get it. Hug the babies and shake the hands.
It's all about the re-up, bro.
God,
it's all about the re-up.
It's just the way it's written. Like, so every 2 years they gotta do it, right? So you get elected, and that year you get to actually work.
Yeah, then you spend the next year preparing to get reelected.
So I was like, yo, this is so
joke.
Stupid.
It's a joke.
It's like no wonder nothing gets done.
Yeah.
So.
It's a race to nothing.
They were fighting all year over the tolls for Connecticut, which didn't go. Hiring taxes on the extra wealthy rich in Connecticut, which magically, when it came to taxes and like that line came out. Thank the governor. He's a executive. He's a corporate executive stooge. So, yeah, he doesn't care. Very soft hands. Very, very, very. I ended up meeting him after he ended up getting elected. He came to my city, and I shook his hand, and I was like, wow, like it was moisturized, bro. Like, he does not do any work.
Right. Very little work.
Very soft hands. Very soft hands.
Well, all he does is shake hands.
Yeah, but.
So he has to have them nice and soft, bro.
Look. You want my vote? I need to know that you work for a living. You know.
You remembered his hand, didn't you?
I remembered his hand because it was like
he won.
I was like, wow, soft hand. I don't know if that was it. That's the extent of his compliment. It wasn't a firm handshake. It wasn't a.
No, if it's too firm, you're not gonna feel the softness.
He wasn't. It wasn't like a. hey, like excited
Right.
about it. It wasn't anything. It was just like
He was
all I
showing
think
off
about it is
his
like that
softness?
he had soft hands. No, it wasn't just. It was just that that's all I can really pull from that whole thing. I don't know. I feel like a handshake from whoever, man, women, doesn't matter. It's especially like first time meeting, it means something.
I don't think so.
No,
I
think so.
I don't put too much stock into it. I mean, it's
Not like
there's certain extreme things in a handshake that'll make you go, "What the fuck was that?" Or, "Geez." But for the most part, I don't put too much stock into it when I meet somebody with their handshake.
not OD it. As long as they're not trying to like
If
power
they add
grip.
some crazy shit to it,
Yeah.
it's annoying.
Yeah, there's no need for it.
Or like,
But there's the etiquette though, you know what I'm saying. But you still like understand like how the but like
I
I
just-
just like, dude, what the fuck, man? What the hell is that about?
yeah, like if you're trying to break my hand, it's not a
Yeah.
fucking hand squeezing contest.
Right.
That shit, like, that's why.
We're not that familiar.
Yeah, get off me, bro.
Yeah, it's like calm down. We're not that familiar.
Yeah.
So that
But,
slight.
but that's what I mean by I don't put too much stock into a handshake. Like some people will be like, "Oh, if he doesn't shake your fucking hand like a man, he's not a man." Like,
No. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like I meant it that. Sometimes.
are you using it as like a prejudge of character meaning? Like,
Some like it only means on like because when you're shaking someone's hand, you're taking an action,
right?
and this specific action, you're actually reaching out and touching another human being. That connection between two humans, is a social thing that it's just within our DNA.
Now, how telling do you think a first handshake is? Now, like a true personality, like does it truly show one's personality on how they shake someone's hand? The grip, the fucking violenceness of it, or the honest, like it is a pleasure to meet you. Like, when you can actually, feel someone's gesture.
Yeah, not always, right? But
Right. Obviously, you can't tell if someone's
Right.
lying in a handshake, but
Right, but you can potentially
You can kinda-
show intent.
tell if someone is like got that fucking warrior blood in them, or that
Right.
that aristocrat.
But
or-
like, they're really excited to see you.
yeah.
Like, I was like, all right,
Yo,
God,
what
too
is-
much energy, or even still, negative energy, because remember, you're taking that action and reaching out to touch another human being, and now you're sharing, that you might exchange the energy. So, not always, but I think, like other animals end up doing that, interaction there's something there. I'm not like an ape and like gonna pick through your hair and see if you got like
No, but
but you know what I
a
mean.
good old
Like,
handshake is like a sniff of an asshole for a dog.
I guess, yeah. Yeah.
It's like that interaction. What else do they do to interact?
All right.
It's a hello. How's it going?
Hey, where you been?
I know where you've been at.
Yeah, that just that's something too, like a good high five. After whatever reason, like yes, that does something. You end up like connecting with another person on that moment, or something ended up happening.
Word.
So, yeah. But not always. Some people are just stupid.
So that's what happened to the Connecticut legalization. Some handshake shit, and that's
Soft
it.
Yo, he's soft, is what it is.
Yep.
He's soft. I mean, it's not like you guys got over here, but yeah. So they say it might end up coming up in special session, which means that we'll have to battle out even more stuff. But we already did a lot of groundwork, as far as like education and figuring out who's potential opponents, for the bills, or still the greedy ones too. The corporations are in there. They've already spent like about 1.7 mil. So They were keeping track of it. I started thinking about it too as like kind of like a little bit of like Game of Thrones, and you just make friends everywhere, and you try to figure out how to, how to use all this information to see who's who. But the ultimate thing that I did find out was that whoever supported us, they always kept us around because we were that a scapegoat. That was that, oh well, support this other bill, but you gotta not support cannabis. All right, because that's more their favorite bill, either being for working families or children, or something that they might have ran on their passion bill is what they kind of call it. So they gave us up at the very end. They held on all the way to the very end, and then once it came to, we passed some bills. I think we ended up losing to. They ended up raising the minimum wage to $15, but it's like by like 2025. So like, with inflation, that's like it's gonna be about the same shit.
That's
like,
that's a cost of living raise.
Right. I mean, so people were like, "Oh my God, that's great." I was like, "Is it?" And people were like, "Yo, why you being salty? Why you being mad?" I was like, "What are you guys thinking? Like 2025, $15. What do you think $15 gonna be worth in 2025? You think it's gonna be worth $15 like it is today?
Right.
Like how volatile the market is now.
They just spit in your face.
Like,
they're laughing at you right now.
Like, and I get it, because, this is how the game ends up being played. But, some other good bills ended up getting passed and stuff like that. But, they were, going back and forth for the fucking tolls, and told this and told that, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, yo, the fucking cannabis industry can fix all those problems. A shit ton of jobs. I mean, a shit ton of jobs, not just within the cannabis industry, but the ones that support that, like that.
All the struggling HVAC
plumbers,
businesses,
HVAC
plumbing,
businesses,
electricians,
tons like that. I mean, like top dollar
engineers, construction
crazy
companies, fucking lawyers
like crazy.
I mean,
and
there's a lot.
And then now you got people, and now you got these people that are making money, and everybody's making money. Now they got to get other services. Now I got to go to the doctor so I can take care of myself and eat healthier and this and that.
And all of those people are paying taxes.
And more property gets taken up. More property taxes was that they're always crying about property taxes.
All the abandoned shitty places.
Blighted buildings.
You just fucking zone it right, and you go, there's money, there's money, there's money.
Economic community redevelopment, economic development, like. Even dealing with the justice system, because you end up getting people out because it's legalized, and expungement records, so you can't use that shit on against them for job applications and shit like that. And even I ended up finding out that one of the reasons that it's very difficult for states to just kind of expunge just cannabis is because a lot of times the state ends up actually labeling it as narcotics,
right?
Which falls into everything.
Schedule
and
1
now,
narcotics,
right? So they gotta kind of break it down. It takes some extra time to break it down. It's not as easy as that. So if people think it is, it's not.
Right.
You guys read the police law, arrested on narcotics, marijuana.
That's why it's important to reschedule it, and at least start there,
right?
So that you can start expunging some shit that's not.
So I told them that. They didn't like that. I was like, you fix all those problems. And even still, I told them, it's like, you want extra money to guys play around with and fuck around with like that? Let's say a huge chunk of this, whatever like that, goes directly into the school system. Directly, so the teachers get get paying jobs and more resources. To actually and it'll fund that.
There's so many ways you can make it mandatory in community host agreements that certain percentages have to go to schools in that town.
Right.
Even if it's just a half a percentage for every license that gets assigned to that town, that's a lot more money than no money that you're getting right now.
Dude, trust me, I broke it down all because I ended up being a city official. I broke it down all the way down as far as that even it ended up being just on a pilot program, and only specific cities ended up actually getting into it, right? And my city ended up being one of them. How to break it down with the municipalities and how to actually be able to tax it that's fair, that specifically have that money go into the school system. just for that. And you know, and after that, I tell them, it's like, look, whatever you're already spending on the school system, take all that, and now it's freed up for you guys to do whatever you guys passion project you guys want. But now the school system is solid. You don't have to worry about anything. And if shit goes crazy, blah blah blah, and they need more money, well, they charge us more money. I have no problem paying them more money. The cities and the government like that, with their 1 year off and 1 year on like system, I can't trust them because they have 1 year, and even still, right? So the session just ended, so it's not even a full like 355 days of like them actually working on a bill. I'm trying to figure out, what are you gonna do now? What are they, you know, like, so you know, I've been open up to this whole side of the world as far as like with the, you know, creating bills and writing bills and backing bills and getting sponsors and all that stuff. This is a whole new world for me, and just kind of learning how everything kind of works. I'm like, oh my god, I'm essentially a lobbyist, except I'm not calling myself a lobbyist, but I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm just trying to like tell them what the deal is and make some friends. So I've made friends on both sides, which is nice actually. They'll invite me to lunch.
That's good.
But yeah, so yeah, that right at the end we were always that sacrificial lamb, and they gave us up for whatever to get through whatever like that. Don't get me wrong, it's mandatory and shit like that. Oh, actually, there was one that did pass that was very interesting. That to start keeping track of data of prosecutors that end up being like biased or racist and stuff like that too, for any specific kind of bias or racist, like any kind.
Right.
They're gonna start keeping track of that. That was an interesting one that I liked.
I have no problem with accountability. You know what
Why
I mean?
isn't there, you know?
I have
like,
no problem with that type of shit. Yeah, it's probably a good thing to keep track of.
Yeah, all of it's keep track of. What's the point? Why not keep track of it?
Right.
Why wouldn't you like to figure out some kind of percentage, like any business, right? Because let's not fool ourselves, man. Like, crime is just meant to like fund government. I mean, taxes too, but local governments. The police arrest, that's hours for cops, goes to the prosecutors, that's a salary. The judge, the bailiffs, the clerks, the defendants, the public defendants, you know, they don't get paid shit though. They actually get paid less than the prosecutors, which is fucked up. And they're like way overworked with no resources. It's fucked. Like, so we have like no chance, but it's like, oh, but you still got something. There you go. Like, pff, all right. The correctional officers.
Yep.
The people that, you know, maintenance for all that shit, running all that building, all that stuff, yo.
Yeah.
Governor, like, once cannabis legalizes. Oh, and shout out to Oakland for legalizing psychedelics.
Yeah.
Shout out to Oakland.
In Denver.
Yep, Denver was the first. Yep. It's crazy. So, what do you think about that?
I mean, you know, obviously I think it's great. I honestly, I haven't looked into it at all. Like, I don't know the specifics. I'm sure the headlines are a lot different than what the actual legalities are.
Right.
I'm sure it's only legal in a medical setting prescribed by a doctor in a fucking room. Like, you can't just all go get fucking mushrooms at the store now, which is what the headlines make it look like, which is funny.
Yeah.
I mean, you see people holding mushrooms and they're like, congratulations, Oakland. You know, but...
oh, shit.
I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it is that fucking outlandishly legal, but, you know, just I assume it's even a higher rate of, you know, legalization, just like medical was for cannabis.
I didn't know. Wait, can they do that?
What?
I don't know if a city like this is so. This is, oh man, this is where laws get like wild tricky. Even like, for example, even, you know, within Rhode Island, how you guys have, was it parishes? No, not parishes, right?
Towns and cities?
No. Like,
Counties?
counties bigger than, wait, something like, oh, each county kind of runs itself too, right? Like, North and South end up kind of having like their own thing, as far as, and then there's also like within like those cities have their own thing, but there's like an overall own thing, and then the state.
I mean, I guess to me, Rhode Island is so small. It's just the state runs pretty much everything.
Right. Yeah. So but it's a bit weird because now but like, oh well, the state can't tell us to do this because we have our own laws, blah blah blah.
Yeah, of course, there's always bylaws within towns. They always supersede.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure. So, but the state could be like, nah, you can't do that. So that's something, a question too that I had, within Denver doing it and then Oakland doing it, because it could just be like a challenging move, right? And now they got to go to court, because now if you go to court, they have to actually,
Present evidence,
both sides, and why this is good and why this is bad and blah blah.
Right.
The judge have to, it forces a hand too. So I'm wondering if this is what this is, because now if Denver doing it, it just takes a little bit of while to also process that, to actually start running that legal process to say stop doing that from the state to like a town or a city.
Gives you enough time to build up a case to keep doing it.
Yeah, and then go to court, and then
you battle, and then you win.
Go to Supreme Court,
and then it's a fucking
But that's what has to be done, in order to that's a system that currently exists. Like, how easy would it be if there was just an app to just vote on where you wanted your money to go to? Like higher percentage of your taxes to go to.
I mean, you would get way more participation in something like that.
In government, yeah. How easy is that, though? How easy an idea is that? It's not it's actually being done right now. I forgot which country, but some other country ended up thinking it up, just to kind of like, it ended up being one of those ideas of the youths, like revolution to, change government, blah, blah, blah. And trying to figure out how to, like, keep in contact with their politician at the same time, and rather than social media. So they thought about this app to, like, all right, this is the bill that's coming up. It's for this. What do you guys think? And then, they vote, how, their constituents ended up voting. Which is fucking trip. But yeah, man, government is designed to be as slow as fuck right now, and it's killing us. With just killing our time is what it's doing. Like, we can't age it. Can you say that, something like that?
Well, you're not gonna beat time.
No. Well, I mean,
you're not gonna outrun it. You know what I mean?
You can.
How?
Space. Space is the only answer to beating time here on Earth.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, it's been wild, man. It's been wild. I'm still dealing with the legal system in Mass, and it's funny the way it's working out. You got, right now there's 130 cultivation licenses just basically sitting on ice that are in. The applications are in, but none of them have been approved yet. The only things that have been approved are the medical dispensaries that are going rec. So now you're going on a full year of basically anyone that tried to get into this, free market in Massachusetts. If you tried to jump in early and try to get a leg up, you're toast right now. Not toast, but you've been just sitting in stagnant water because they're not giving out these licenses right now. They're just slow dripping them out, and it's just these medical people, and it's tough because now it throws off everyone's timelines. It throws off, I mean, you can't even predict when you're going to get your provisional. You can't even predict when you're going to get your provisional license in. You know what I mean? Even the projected times that the state's telling you are off. So,
what is it on a state that's slowing down, or is it on a local?
Well, because it's run by the CCC, and that's the state selected group.
How many members? I think like most of the members voted no on legalization.
No for what?
For legalization. Except for Shalene Title, who she voted yes.
Yeah, she's like the face of it too, of the CCC.
Yeah, and she's the rest of them voted no on legalization.
But it's just, it sucks because all
Yo, I don't even know how it fully looks as far as mass, but the sample that we were talking about within Connecticut, yo, it is so absurdly ridiculous. Like, it literally said nobody from the industry can actually be in the commission. I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, don't you want somebody that knows what the fuck they're doing to be on the commission? They're like, no. So I don't know how, like, continue with the.
It's I don't know. I don't want to talk about anyone from the CCC specifically. I mean,
and you shouldn't, because they're very nice people.
They're just doing whatever they do.
It's a tough job. Nobody's ever done it before, so.
Right. But if you're in the waiting game, which I am right now, it makes it tough. I mean, I know that there's some companies right now who, like I said, try to get a leg up and try to get in nice and early, and they're paying $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 a month rents because they don't own the property. They have all these projections, they have all these hopes and dreams which they need to secure in order to apply for the license. You can't just fill out an application and send it in. You need to have certain things secured. You need to have certain locations, agreements. You need to have community hosts in place. So you need to have a lot. You can't just go to the town and come up with a community host agreement. No, you need to have the property. You need to have the landlord, or you need to have a lot of things already invested into. So whatever they're trying to do to make things right, it's just really hurting the true, smaller business, operators that are trying to get up and going. So it sucks because all these big medical places they're big money because it cost big money to get into the medical scene when this first broke into the into the whole world of our cannabis world on the East Coast. It was all medical programs.
Jeez.
So you needed big money to take part in that. So these are the guys that are all flipping those licenses from medical to rec, and they're the first ones getting, the green lights. So
that's what we were fighting too.
That's
who you're always going to be essentially fighting. Well, not essentially, but in the beginning now, you're fighting the medical industry, just like we're fighting the medical industry in Connecticut.
No, I'm not. It's not. You don't want to label it as you're fighting the medical industry. You're fighting the corporate conglomerates that are vertical systems. That's it's because the cannabis industry is brand new. Okay, so just like how industry was brand new in this whole country, there was mom and pop shops. That's how this whole country was built. There wasn't a Walmart right from day one of the United States. There was actual small business that built up this country. So I feel, and obviously I'm biased because I'm part of the small business community, but I would prefer that this industry be a small business built industry from the start, like most industries are.
But it's not like, I don't know if it's happening here in Rhode Island, but I think it probably is. The buyouts, right? That are buying out the medical licenses from the small like that. I'm talking about like not a few. I'm talking about like $80 million, $120 million. That's just happening in Connecticut, and we only have like a handful of medical licenses through the whole state.
Yeah.
Now here in Rhode Island, there's a lot of them.
I'm talking about Mass, by the way.
Right, and even still with Mass, like you already know that there's some companies like Netta ended up selling out to some company at was it Netta or the other one?
Yeah, Netta. I mean,
within
a couple have, yeah.
Yo, I don't know for how much money it was that they sold it for within a month and a half, because they ended up making $50 million within the first fucking 5 months. If that's a slight projection to the rest of the year, because you're the first ones already on the market, I think they probably sold that for lowball. But when, like you're saying, like not what that you're saying, but like how when you have that much money, like 100 mils, just sitting in front of you. I mean, who's to say? Nobody knows. Nobody knew they were gonna make $50 million within like the first. They made $100 million total, so I'm just saying $50 million a piece. That you're gonna make $50 million in like the first like 5 months. $10 million a month. Wow. Like, I don't know how much they sold it for because it's still an undisclosed amount.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was enough. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, but you don't know what their agenda is. They could have just jumped. They could have just jumped ship right to the next portfolio and just be doing the same thing in another state. You know, that's what a lot of these companies do. This is just an equation. You know what I mean?
No, but these are like startup. These are the medical ones that ended up being
right.
Actually, I don't know.
But keep in mind, it's different because the rec market startup, the cost of entry is much lower than what the medical cost of entry is. The medical system has a huge. It's really, you can't be a small business medical facility.
Right. No. Almost nowhere.
No. So that's why it's corporate right from the start.
Right.
I'm more in favor of having a smaller business model, which is still just as strong. It just incorporates more people that are not billionaires.
Yeah, it's the way that government has been, like the system actually ends up looking at it. They're looking at it as like, you got to have all this extra funds for, I don't know, whatever. Like, you know, in some kind of experience. Like, look, you're giving these, for any politician out there, listen, you're giving these licenses to these people because they have dollar signs and they don't know what they're doing. They're putting out garbage products. These people have sold $100 million worth of garbage mids, yo, and people are still lined up. Don't get me wrong, hustle up, get your money. But, you know, it's like getting that dub from Central Park from the dude with the dreads. It's probably maybe somewhat weed.
and this is what I'm saying. You see that, and it entices all these small businesses to want to get involved because they're opening up the door for you, but then they're not allowing anyone to operate. You just have to keep watching these crazy places make crazy money.
So that's something too that we ended up fighting within Connecticut to have a delay of entry, and we've been keeping track of what's happening within Mass, right? All the laws, how certain laws end up affecting the whole process of it. And I think there was an article like the other day that why, you know, the slow rollout of the legal market is strengthening the black market, because it is. Because now you got all these licenses just waiting. You got everybody just waiting, and only like two
with
people,
real overhead. Yeah,
only 2 or 3 people like actually like making money. Oh no, excuse me, because the other one is like a big conglomerate owned now.
And riddle me this: if you've figured out how to give someone a green light, that obviously means you've figured out all the regulations that are involved. So what is the delay from that first license getting issued to the rest? Why is there? You give one, wait, give another one, wait, give another one, wait. What's the delay between issuing out the licenses? Why? What is their? Are they convening and making up new rules and shit? It's fucking ridiculous.
It could end up being just as simple as
to me.
You know, they don't. None of them process any of that paperwork. They just sit there and actually make the decisions, right? The ones that actually process the paperwork are the staff behind the doors, right? And if they end up being like almost no staff, there's end up being like one person, right, handling all that shit. Well, then, you know, you can see why there might be a delay. But I don't know the inner workings of how the commission ends up actually working. I'm trying to figure out how.
Well, I mean,
I'm trying to find what's problematic about all that shit, and then trying to like, you know, streamline more for other states. I still gotta check what Illinois just ended up legalizing too. Hey, shout out to Chicago.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be really interesting. Another state, you know.
They made it where you can apply for your license first before acquiring a location, which is a big plus because it alleviates what I was just describing, how you have to have a location, which then you have to wait for your license.
Right.
But once you get issued your license, you have 3 months to lock down a location. That's the catch.
Right.
But still, I mean, obviously, if you're applying, you have a location already.
3 months is tough too, because you got to apply for zoning. That takes, like.
But you obviously would have that lined up before you put the application in. If you were smart, you would do it.
You
would do it.
Right. This is what I'm planning to do. We're already in the process. Just want to, you end up actually doing that. It's good, and that's costly too to put those applications. You got to do that in multiple towns,
right?
Because you got to put those. You have to do it. It could be costly. It really can.
But I mean, we'll see. Just like every other program that seems to start with great intentions, they seem to somehow fuck things up, and it goes for every state.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. It's frustrating to be dealing with, but it's, at the same time, it's, it is what it is.
But you know what though? Let's look at a positive like that. You're on your way. I'm still trying to just legalize within my own home state. Like you're already within a state that is already legal. You already have your shit's already rolling. I
mean, our application's in. It's just waiting.
It's a waiting game now.
With everyone else. So
it sucks. Hey, but that's it's a good positive though.
Yeah, it's positive. It's just.
It's frustrating.
It's frustrating, because you have no control. It sucks when you don't have the actual control of something, and you're relying on something that you definitely don't want to rely on, which is government, to let traffic through, to ease the pain, to ease the tension. You're relying on government, so that sucks. But what is I'm not the only one dealing with it, so.
This is what we wanted.
I'm not taking it personal. It's just, it is what it is. This is what I'm currently dealing with, but it's a gain.
Any advice we can give you guys is that we wanted this to be legal, and we wanted it to be part of the regular market. So you guys know what the regular market is. It's shady as fuck. It's all about money, obviously. This is America.
Yep.
Prepare yourself. Don't be surprised, man. Prepare yourselves. This is, you're getting into business. Government is slow.
It's slow, but I'm pretty positive it's the right decision for me to go through with this.
Yeah, but you already invested so much. I mean, if you was to tell me tomorrow, I was like, you know what? I decided not to do. I'm just gonna get a 9-to-5 job. I'm like, for
trust
reals?
me.
After all that,
I'm not even bullshitting you. The offers I've been given to, if I ever did decide to not pursue my own license, the offers I've been given just even today. I'm in this industry. There's no fucking. Yeah. I'm in it now.
I know.
But
I know what you mean.
Now it's like. It's just crazy, dude. It's crazy. I've gone, it's been a long 12 months for me. I've started pretty much, I'm pretty modest, but going through the last 12 months, I realized my value in this industry. And it's even talking to people who are trying to acquire big pieces of power in this industry who probably shouldn't be in it, but they're moving into this industry from other ones, and they're placing high value on me. So it's helping me realize, I definitely have value. So the confidence is gone up. Just talking to all these people. I mean, I can't wait to start. You know what I mean? It's gonna be fucking awesome. It's gonna be great. I've met so much of my competition, and it's going to be great.
Nice.
I mean, they're just,
Speaking of competition and winning, shout out to Nicam for the best cannabis podcast out here. Hey!
Thanks for voting, fuckers.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate. Thank you, fans out there. I'd like to thank my mom and dad for having sex that night, because without them, I wouldn't be able to win this award. So I appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys voting for us, the Joint Committee Sessions. Tell you, me, East Coast and them were there. We was going out the VIP transportation bus.
The MVP transportation bus.
We played Street Fighter and shit.
Listen,
inside. That shit was awesome.
If you're listening to this podcast right now, you might be interested in joining us for a live session on that exact bus. We're gonna try to set that up. We should have had him come.
Yeah, we should
I should have
have
fucking had him
come.
come. He wants to talk, but anyways, we're gonna do a live joint committee sessions tour somewhere. Maybe we'll go to the casino or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll just do something like we'll go somewhere and chill. But
no, we're just gonna why not? We'll just sit there and just record. They can just watch us like do our thing. Like just be in front of live studio audience.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if you have maybe you have something that you want to pitch or promote, maybe you should try to get on that bus and maybe you can get on air and fucking
give you a little what we call the elevator pitch.
Yeah.
I think it's like 30 to like 90 seconds at most.
Yeah. Promote
gotta,
whatever you got,
like quick pitch if you're gonna have pitch something.
And then maybe we'll have some goodies and some treats.
Yeah. Or not, or just tell us about yourself. Like quick little something about,
Yeah, or just sit there and chill, play Street Fighter while we drive around. You get to taste some of the finest from our gardens, and I think it'd be a great time.
Maybe have some old guests come through or something like that.
Yeah. See if we can bring someone up.
Play a quiz game or something.
But yeah, so check out MVP Transportation on Instagram and tell him you want a live joint committee session, and we will set that up. So, anyways, yeah, we were on the MVP bus.
Yeah,
and
oh man, that was so cool.
Yeah, that was funny. That was some funny shit.
Cool. And then we just sitting because it was after the their regular expo event during the day.
Yeah,
it was a dinner time after thing.
Yeah, they had the expo during the day, which was on a Friday, so
right.
It was kind of a tough day to actually go to the expo. But luckily for us, the awards ceremony was at. It said it started at 6, but it didn't really start till like fucking 8.
That's why we were downstairs.
But that's why we went outside. We saw people at the dab. We saw smoke coming from a tour bus, and we're going, we gotta. What the fuck's that? People were just walking out all goofy and shit. And then Lou's like, yo, I'm going over there.
Hell yeah, I'm going there. It's like, I must check it out.
And he's in there, and I'm like, I don't know those people. And he's like, waving, come in.
Let's go.
So we ran over there and fucking, sat with a bunch of stoned people. Awesome bus. I mean.
Yeah. I've been on this thing too that I'm not trying to be snobbish and like that, but I only like to smoke with people that I know. So I'm not too big on like taking up somebody's other joint that's just sitting next to me because we're all smoking together. Or sometimes maybe if we had we talk or something like that, But
yeah, I totally know what you're saying, especially in that situation because we didn't all get on the bus together. It's groups of people getting on.
Off and on, yeah.
But if we're having like a live session, like everyone's there together, it's like that would be like a party. That'd be fucking fun.
Yeah. No, that's different. That's
we'll have interaction
I'm totally down
and
for
shit.
Like that. Yeah. But somebody was like that chick that wanted to she kept wanted me to pass or something, but I was only smoking with you.
She kept who did she remind me of? You ever seen How High?
Yeah.
The Indian kid who had the herpes. Oh, and they kept not passing it to him, and he kept trying to grab it. That's what she was like. Me and you, and man. you were blowing out Jamba Juice, and I saw people like,
hell yeah,
what the fuck's that? And then I had that crazy guy next to me.
Yeah, was he trying to sell you soap or some shit like that?
Nah, I don't know what the fuck he was. He was just like, was he homeless?
Dude, I don't know, probably.
And he was just like, yeah, my mother smokes weed. And he was like, he had a bandana on, and he was like a fucking 80s rocker guy.
Probably just happened to be walking by. We were downtown, Boston, so. Which is crazy, though. But, so we were,
Luckily that bus was there, because that was still.
Yeah, because.
That was still in the wintertime. That was fucking cold.
And I didn't want to be sitting up there while it was with
Yeah, and there was.
It was a lot of people.
Well, when we first went in, it was empty.
Yeah, it was empty.
We would have been the first two dummies there.
Sitting there.
and we would have got kicked out for re-entry.
Really?
Yeah, because they set up that table at the front of
Oh yeah, afterwards. Yeah.
So if we were sitting like down by the fucking food where the food was, they would have been like, you
Right.
gotta get out of here.
Right.
But-
So we come back in. Who came with us too? Rick.
Yeah, Rick Naya.
Yeah, we happened to the three of us ended up happening like when it was time for the award to start. The three of us stumbled out of the.
Yeah, we all stumbled out of the dad bus of the.
Like it was like no cars out there. Too.
I know.
remember, like, that there was like no cars on the street, and just the three of us just like
It
stumbling.
was like a movie scene. It was like a Quentin Tarantino movie. We were just like.
Oh, I have that video. I remember.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So then
Head upstairs.
we
and
went
shit.
in and oof, there was a lot of fucking people there.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people.
I mean, I gotta say at least 300, 350.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Maybe not that much. It's like 150, 200, something like that.
It was pretty packed.
Don't get me wrong. There wasn't an empty like chair or anything like that. Luckily we ended up posting up against the wall on that bench thing, because rather than sitting on the table.
But I mean, after we won, we kind of left.
Yeah,
But-
we went back to the bus.
We went back to the bus.
Let's go celebrate.
But when we went back in again, it was
Yeah.
even more packed because people were progressively coming through as the night was going on.
Yeah.
So
Well, what ended up being like the crowd that ended up coming, and this was really interesting. And I kind of had a sense that this is what was going to happen before. Was it kind of ended up being like not everybody, but a good amount of the who's who within the New England cannabis industry. I say New England because the East Coast isn't really like fully into it like that.
Yeah,
Only
yeah,
like
yeah.
New England is really into it right now. So yeah, like a lot of familiar, same with a lot of familiar faces
yep.
that we've seen for years because we're part of this community, one of the first communities like that. So it ended up being like, hey, what's going on? A lot of
Right,
stuff, yo.
right.
Some people, we waving. Some people, we weren't waving too. But it was a good time. And then when it came time to it, I didn't know we were up against so many different
I didn't
podcasts.
have a fucking clue.
I did not know. I was like, holy shit, that's a lot.
I'm gonna be. I'm still like, I can't believe we even won. I mean, that was definitely, I was honored to get our name called. I mean, they had us against like 7 other people.
I know. It was a lot. Was it 7? 7 or 5, 6?
5, 7, I don't know.
It was a lot. I think
It was
as far as the
enough.
categories,
It was
'cause
enough
you don't
that-
really want more than 5, but there was more than 5.
I was under the impression it was like, oh, you're you're the final 3 people. So I was expecting us and 2 other people to be like,
yeah.
in contention, but they start reading off and this and that and this, and then
Yeah.
after every time they would read like someone's name, you would hear this big fucking chair of like all the
Yeah,
people they
all these
brought,
people, yeah.
and we're like, oh shit, it's just me and Lou here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, everybody was rolling deep except us. We were like,
yep,
all right.
Yep. Yeah, and then we won.
We won. Which was a sweet victory.
Yep.
Because I'll be honest, honestly, we put out like, vote for us, but we weren't like manic about it.
No, definitely not. I mean,
I think I posted it maybe like twice.
I feel guilty like abusing like the number of followers that I have in any
Why
way.
not? They're your followers.
But I don't want to. But I feel that's unfair in the competition of any sort to be like, oh, I got all these followers, vote for me. It's unfair to another. I'd rather have actual whoever voted us to get in did it without me announcing it.
I mean, I know I had a decent amount of my friends like, I that's something too I did want to know. I wanted to know the numbers. I like winning, but I like to know the details. I like to know like the stats by how much. Was it by?
But I mean, there was
by a nose. Was it by 3 car lengths?
But like, it's not like someone said, "Hey, any can is gonna have awards, and here are the categories. You should, and this is what you got to do to get nominated." Like, we had no idea we were even nominated.
Yeah, I was
we
surprised
were in.
that we even nominated.
We were like in the finalist like stage.
Well, that's the thing, though. We weren't trying to win any.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm glad. Like, I didn't say, "Oh, vote for me" or "vote for us." Like, I'm glad it was a fair. Like, whoever voted, genuinely voted without having like a sway. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why it was fair against all the other.
I posted on my page, my Facebook, vote for us. That's it. How many votes were the people?
Right, and I might have done that once also, but
yeah.
It's not like I was riding it. I wasn't like.
And I would say, to be honest with you, like when I went through it, I voted. I just started looking at all the different categories, and I started seeing, who I knew through the stuff like that, and I voted the way I wanted to vote.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of these people too.
Right. Yeah, same here. It was. I mean, I
wanted
said,
those numbers. I wanted those numbers, but I'm grateful and gracious about the fact that we got nominated, won.
Yeah.
And that we won. Super surprised. I was sitting there, we were high. I was having a good time.
We were fucking baked.
Yo, we were so high, yo. Your job just had fucking.
We were probably one of the highest.
Oh shit! Phone ringing.
We were probably some of the highest winners to walk up to the stage and grab our shit. Like, we definitely smelled. More than any other people that walked up, because I don't think anyone else that won was in that fucking bus. So we were in the bus like
because that's the thing though. We came out of the bus, we sat down,
we win.
I threw like two like that, and then we win, and then we leave.
Yeah.
Like, so we definitely smelled.
Oh my god.
We just came from the bus.
We were absolutely reeking like weed.
But I don't know if we were probably not. I know we were the only one. Everybody's.
Oh yeah, no, everyone was high, but I'm just saying we definitely walked up like Cheech and Chong.
Well, you know what?
Got that shit.
Shout out to the voters.
Yep.
Because you voted.
Thank
Shout out
you.
to our fans.
And sorry we don't put out more, but it's truly been a very hectic last 6 months, to say the least. I mean,
yeah.
I
was doing a lot with legislation on my part. I was really busy with that, trying to get that really off. It's incredibly difficult. Holy fuck. Can't even,
Yeah, I
I've
can only
already explained
imagine.
and it's even still, I'm just getting to know this shit. I'm still starting off. People been doing this shit for like 15 years, 20 years, something like that. Way, in the game. It's a trip. You're going to just, trying to get your license get processed finally and shit. Just
that shit's easy. Now it's
just waiting. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, that shit's done. You know what I mean? Like, our legwork is done.
Yeah.
We've done all we can actually do, and now it's connecting with the right people to excel the Capitol, which is a shit show. I mean, the people I talk to, I can't even. Did I tell you about the guy? I'm not gonna name anybody, because I've talked to enough people where I've talked to so many different investors and this guy and that guy.
Is there another word for investor? Maybe we change the word.
What would you call it?
Just the money guy.
I mean,
that's what they are.
A money guy, yeah.
The money guy. This money guy.
I've talked to a money guy who genuinely questioned, what is the point of getting the cultivation license? We just need the processing. And okay, that's a fine business model, except he genuinely did not understand that you still need to grow marijuana plants. Because he was saying, oh, the trend is all about vapes. It's all about vaping. And he was looking at like Wall Street articles. So he thought that was all synthetic. He didn't realize the oil comes from the plants. You still have to grow the plants. He had no idea. He really thought growing the plants was done. There's no more growing plants. That's not even an option anymore. Like, no one does that.
We outgrew that technology.
Yeah, they were done with that.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was looking at me right in the fucking face like I was the moron. Like, I didn't know what I was talking about.
Well,
like I was talking about some different kind of oil that you put in the fucking vape pens. I'm like, I guess so. Holy shit. Goodbye, sir.
Wow.
It's a dude. And that guy has power in a company somewhere. You know what I mean? And they have a license, and they get licenses because they have money. So it's important. Listeners out here, listen to me. It's important that you support, not me, or just you support that the local companies that you trust that are trying to do this right, because it is not easy for us to do it. And if by chance we do get the ability to do it, we definitely need the support. Like, it's, I don't know how else to say it, but we're facing real assholes.
Money greed.
And
They don't know shit. They just have the money. That's the problem. And they think they can run the show because they have the money. That doesn't mean, people really need to stop thinking with that whole money equals power shit. Your resources are higher and you can do more, but that doesn't mean, you can. That doesn't mean that people should automatically bend to it, which is also government's problem too. They bend to whoever ends up donating X amount of dollars for whatever X, Y, and Z, their campaign or some bill or some program they're fucking like that, and they'll vote their way when it comes to some business shit as seen in favor. Seen it first fucking hand, just how the game is played. Fuck, I don't know where more to go with it. Fucking high.
well,
What were we just talking about? Shit. Damn it!
you took it off track, man.
Oh, I did take it
I was
off
trying to
track.
follow you, and then
Shit. Oh, well. Anyway, fuck it. Government is stupid because it's outdated system. Slow.
yeah. But I don't want to.
Be like, oh, it's slow like that, so we make sure we don't make mistakes. It's like, yet you still make them. So explain that one.
Well, I don't know. I just know that it's important that you put some support into, the companies that you know about. All of you canistors and the who's who and what's what, and try to support the guys that are trying to get involved, because it is fucking difficult. And we are facing the Walmarts of weed. I can't even tell. Like, I've talked to them, I've spoken with them, I've sat with them. They've tried to get me into their web. They're here. They're setting up shop. They have a lot of money. And they're doing everything wrong. I'm telling you, they're doing everything wrong.
Sure they are. But there's a way to get, like, you gotta figure out on the contract side, right? And somebody has got to be very clever with this shit, how to get the slight upper hand on them. They just got to deal with your shit to a certain, like, X amount of years. Because they can't, there's a lot of moving pieces even more now. Because right now, for the big money guys, is the big money grab for different spots. 80 million here, 100 million there, 20 million there. Like, they're trying to grab all these licenses that already currently exist. For the whole purpose is that same thing's happening in mass. And, like, the second it's medical, the second it's legal, the medicals end up getting, like, first dibs and shit like that.
Right.
Like, we fought this shit. Honestly, that's what happened in Connecticut. The very first bill that came out was written by the medical side. So they end up being, on most part, because they end up having more money, like, established and shit like that, they end up being the biggest opponent. Because, on a business tip, isn't it more beneficial towards you if there's less competition? Mm-hmm. Well, I get it. But I'm on the other side. So,
Right.
No. So a lot of bills like that, and we fought it. None of them passed. We didn't legalize. And I think that's also a win too, because a lot of states openly accept whatever ends up being on thing just for the sake of legalization and not really looking how the business part of it's going to end up being. Yeah, good for you. You got a fucking 6-pound count. But now you can't afford to open up a business because you at least need fucking like $3 million equity, meaning you have it in the bank already type shit before you can even apply for your license. And still, how much ends up being for a license? $40,000 in one state, $25,000 in another state, $75,000 in another state. Do you have that money? No. So now they turn legal, and boom. Those people had a whole bunch of bills laid out in Connecticut, and we fought them all. We didn't get legalization, but they didn't win either.
So there's no medical?
There is medical. They're still there. Those are the main opponents. Because all right, for like just put in perspective as far as like how much it actually costs for a cultivation license in Connecticut is $25,000 for an application fee, non-refundable.
Right.
$75,000 for the annual fee, and not to mention everything else that you got to end up meeting as far as requirements.
Yeah, $400 to a lawyer for that application to get written.
And this and that.
There's 30 grand.
Right, and the application you got to process it, and then you got thinking about security and build out and electricity and all this shit and paying people and getting this shit up and running. Right. We don't have that type of money.
No.
So now we have to go get investors.
Exactly.
So we fought them as far as that's what was already laid out, and they were like almost pleading with us, please, like, go along with this, we'll figure it out along the way, type shit. If they say that to you, know through history that that's all bullshit. It never gets fixed later on down the road. So within Rhode Island too, because Rhode Island is like that, that's really important to everybody understand what's actually in these bills. Because that's the legal system you'll get. And more than likely, because so much has been put into the Rhode Island medical cannabis industry, that it's still, somewhat reachable, somewhat, that they're going to obviously just turnkey it almost to they be the only ones in the industry, but open up hopefully at least the retail side of it, because I mean the way it is now is just
I hope they do, for the sake of a lot of the guys that we know.
They put a lot of, like even holding on to that shit, and the fact that they don't want to buy, like some of them don't want to buy.
Right.
There, it's just they got some fire shit too. That's, man, it's unbelievable, man. Truly, truly, truly unbelievable. But
yeah.
oh man. Yeah, so that's why we're incredibly busy, because we're trying to, like everybody else, we're part of building a brand new market that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, pioneering through this, there's no reference points. I mean, everyone you're talking to is just figuring shit out as they go, pretty much. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Because even still, the experience that happens within one state doesn't mean that it works in the next state, because they have totally fucking different rules and regulations. Totally different
market, totally different population, totally different demographics. I mean, it's totally different. Every single state is unique on how they should set up this industry.
Oh my god, it's horrible.
They can reference, off of other states' bills and figure out what's probably the best direction they should go on. Pick one from Massachusetts,
Right,
pick some from Colorado.
Like you said, that's like $400,000 an hour to paying somebody to put that shit together, to make sure it doesn't coincide with other laws that already exist within the other state and shit like that. Oh, we can't do this, can't do that because of this. Oh, we can do this and that, and that ends up being paid by some major top lawyer. But do we have those, that type of money? We don't. So the ones that end up actually doing that are the big money corporations, and they end up introducing the bills. The first bill that came out within Connecticut had automatically 40 sponsors already attached to it. 40. They thought it was going to be a cakewalk. They thought they're going to be like, we're super rich. No. That's what happened in Connecticut. And I'm okay with that part. Because if we're not going to do it the right way, then, I think we should hold on to that. That's a lot of money. Yeah, we legalize. So what? You got, like the only benefit from legalization is for cultivation rights, to make sure that people on the medical side can end up growing their own medicine, or be able to grow their own medicine, because it's expensive to buy at a medical dispensary for people that seriously need it, and there are many people out there. That's why legalization is important on the, caring side.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's used as a crutch or a mask for all these big corporations to come in and flip. They know they get the head start by going the medical route, understanding what the process is. That every state does this. They start medical.
Yeah.
Then they go rec. Happens in every fucking state, even if it takes 10 years.
But I don't understand. Why didn't Rhode Island do, like, I don't get it. Like, Rhode Island is poised, in my opinion, right? And I know that Maine has been doing it much longer. But Rhode Island, because it ended up being closer towards, like, more more populated side down here.
It's got the 95 corridor.
It was, you know, I always saw it as, like, the Cali of the East Coast, right? They had a head start more than anybody else.
Yeah, we did.
And, like, some of the
that's why
top
we got,
growers are just only going to Mass because oh my god.
We got great growers in Rhode Island, but
great growers.
They just
fire shit.
They don't set up a free market based system. If you've grown up in Rhode Island, which you haven't.
No, I haven't.
It's a small state in every way. It's as crooked as it gets. It's a very corrupt state. It's just that's how it is. So the medical system surprises me not one bit. Everything that they've done surprises me zero. It's like I knew 10 years ago there was a time ticking on how long I was going to be able to grow legally in Rhode Island. I knew all they were doing was figuring out how to close up every possible way for people to fucking make money. And it was going to be a state thing. I just knew it. That's how Rhode Island runs. Mm-hmm. And eventually they'll have to break, but it's going to be like a decade of just having their medical program, which is a fully state set up thing with all the players who are in it, state or ex-state people, whether it be police or state officials of some level, high-ranking state officials are all involved. And they're all getting their dues back to them
it's because
before they let anyone else play ball. And that is something that is so Rhode Island. It's just, that's why I'm not shocked in any way. And that's why I'm choosing not to participate in any type of cannabis.
But I feel bad for some of our friends, though.
Of course, I feel horrible. It sucks.
Shit.
It sucks. I mean, it was so exciting to hear that they were doing it, and it was like I was fucking pumped, and I
visited some of their facilities.
Hell yeah, and they're dope.
Awesome,
but oh yeah, I mean, dude, like Kenny's place is, you can eat off the floor. It's fucking, I love it.
Hell yeah,
I love it.
2 days, fucking
yeah.
Fire shit.
Yep. But yeah, it just sucks watching this system where it's like these guys can be fucking jungle boys.
Right.
But they're just strapped. No branding, no nothing, no labels, no fucking. It's like they're being castrated. All they are is just a fucking, just a bag of weed that they can't even label.
So yeah.
But anyways, that's why I'm out of Rhode Island. I'm done. I learned here. You know, it's my stomping grounds.
Yeah. You know what? Hey, a lot of people. You know what? That's what a lot of people started spreading out. A lot of people have gone up to Maine. A lot of people have actually gone up to Maine from Rhode Island. Like a decent amount. I was like, no shit. Yeah. Like it's got some. I guess it's got some Wild Wild West shit out there.
Exactly. It's pretty. I hear it's pretty awesome the way they let you set up shop, but I don't live in Maine, so I don't have any. I don't really have much to talk about with the Maine situation. It seems pretty awesome. I mean, I've seen some of the. I haven't been inside, but I've seen some videos of some of the operations going on up there, and legit clean as fuck places, you know.
Oh, I went up to one.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I went to see Paul's Boutique.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I took a trip up there. That shit was dope.
It's
man.
nice, right?
Yeah, I mean, he hunts them down. He goes, he has all different types, but he's hunting down that like the darker purple type of genetic. But to have it all taste different types of, but he's like putting a lot of effort and not, and he's got some other projects too that he's working on that I'm really excited. I'm not gonna talk about it, but yeah, it was really dope, man. It was really dope. We sat there, we smoked a little bit, like bullshit. It was really cool.
Nice.
Had a good time. We visited a few people out there too while we were up there. it is just like, just.
I mean, I would consider
But
Maine.
everybody's doing it, is what I'm saying though. Like it's like really open free market. Not as open as like Oregon. This over open.
Horrible.
Too much.
And you know what sucks?
No,
Everyone.
they passed that too for be able to try to like transport out that shit.
The problem is that they made it way too fucking willy-nilly to get in.
Like $400.
Yeah, and you're in. Anyone's in. You're in. You're in. You're in. You're in.
You're all right.
People with giant farms, just tons of outdoor. I mean, and that I always bring this up when we're in meetings with people, and they always want to talk about Oregon. I always say, just stop. Don't bring up Oregon. We're in Massachusetts. It's totally different. Not even the same fucking ball game we're talking here. All right, the cost of entry alone is reducing the problem you're talking about, which is the overages. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we don't have the outdoor environment that Oregon has to be able to produce like they do. We could grow outdoors here. Don't get me wrong, but Oregon has a much better setup as far as where they are geologically to grow cannabis. So.
What do you think? But what do you think about that? The potential of like that. It's so open that who do you think would end up being like a bigger winner out of that? It would end up being like it weed out, and the best would end up actually like just shining out, because we always know out of like a whole bunch of jars we always figure out like a lot of times which one's gonna be like some decent shit. She just screams out at you.
Right. But don't be mistaken. There's fire in every fucking city. There's a great grower across the country. I mean, there's not. That's why it's not an East Coast, West Coast. You can talk about the historic, reverence of the area of the West Coast has probably got it locked down for a long time based on just the history. You can't deny the history.
We caught up quick. That's what I'm saying.
But
we caught up dumb quick. Like, they're surprised how fucking quick we caught up.
But don't be mistaken. Like, you go to California, you'll run into plenty of horrible grows with fucking bunk weed, mids. Okay? So don't put your coast, don't put your coast on the quality. It has nothing to do with either. You're going to find fire in every fucking city, every fucking town in this country.
Yeah.
Pretty much. If there's a grower somewhere, there's fire. There's fire coming out of towns, I'm telling you.
I was in North Dakota.
Mm-hmm. You didn't know them.
They have like 180 something thousand total. Like,
you don't think out of 180,000 people there's one guy growing some fire?
One person growing that fire. Yo, I'm going to Emerald Cup.
Because it's just a matter of intelligence. You put a smart guy in a fucking room.
Yeah, and you know what? No, there's a lot of farms out there. Somebody's doing something.
You know what I mean? It's just
tons of farms. Like, as far as
where you're from has no guidance as to how good of a grower you can be.
Man,
I'm from Rhode Island. I shouldn't be growing good weed. If you if you put it in terms like that, Rhode Island, no, you don't grow good weed. No, get the fuck out of here. Okay, but then put it on this scale that we're at now. Oh yeah, East Coast damn. Oh yeah. So it's like, take the fucking city out of it. Take the state out of it. I hate that shit. Always have. I've been in Barcelona, Seattle, Miami. I've found good and horrible weed in every single fucking place.
Vegas is
I've been to Aruba. I've been to Jamaica. It doesn't matter. Fire is there.
I've been, Puerto Rico. In Vegas, honestly, has been. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. I just keep picking back the bad shit. I keep getting like this bad fucking weed in Vegas, From but even still, I guess maybe I need more of a local guide to kind of tell me, because
you might be just getting the Budweiser of the fucking Vegas.
I am. I'm getting, because I'm looking at them. At least you get to like look and kind of smell, and I'm looking, I'm paying attention. I know kind of what I'm looking for, but that's as much that I can do. I'm not obviously gonna be able to break it up and really smell it to think if something, even still, you don't know until you burn it. And of course, dead ass black ash, just like I was like, this so keeps going out on you. I'm like,
that sucks.
So it's either me I just got the luck of picking the bad shit.
But I'll smoke that shit here. I'll smoke that shit on the East Coast too. I've been to events. Oh, here's a pre-roll. Yo, here's a pre-roll.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck is this
Yeah.
black shit? What is this? I can't even. I need a torch to smoke this joint. I need a fucking torch. This thing will not stay lit. A lighter won't even do it justice. I need to fucking blowtorch this joint. No thanks. And what? They're from Rhode Island. Same place as me. So that means does that mean I can't grow good weed?
No, like I said, it's just.
So
I'm just going to a retail shop. I'm not going to like.
I know, but I'm just still bringing up that stupid point because it fucking annoys the fuck out of me. God damn it. Take your location out of your quality.
It is, but it's on, you know, what you really think, like, we've said it before too, right? And we were just talking about this, about supporting the local, you know, the one that you know, because if you want good quality, you support the grower, not the name brand or not the famous name that you might, you know, like, oh, I want cookies and cream, or I want, you know, sour diesel, or I want, you know, like, only do it because the guy, the grower you know, grows good.
Right.
And he's growing some good shit.
Even
that name.
Like, part of my mission statement of my business is nowhere in it does it say anything about being the best fire grower anywhere. I'm trying to be the most trusted brand in Massachusetts. Not even the most trusted. I just want to be a trusted brand. That's all I want.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
That's where a lot of value.
Bring the people back knowing they know who you are. They know it's fire. I mean, that's like not even, you don't have to fucking promote that. They know that.
So yeah, that goes too, you know, about.
And I'm at a scale, the type of license I'm after is at a scale where I can keep it, it's like just, it's perfect craft level. I can keep it that way. I'm not going to get stretched too thin and lose the craft touch on it.
Which is very easy to do.
So if you expand too much, there's only so much you can actually control. I mean, you can still oversee things and bring the right people in, and it can still be done. Don't get me wrong. If you have 50,000 square feet, you can still break that down, get 5 excellent guys in there who are managing 10,000 square feet each, and you can still have a craft.
But how much do you really think that one person is able to actually well manage 10,000 feet? Because something we've talked about too, as far as like the reason that we end up having some of this great bud is because we actually take good care of the plant, and if it's too much, you're not able to give the plants all the actual, like, you know.
Right, but if you break it down, like, you can take a giant operation and turn it into a bunch of my size operations, is what I'm saying. It has to be staffed the same way, individually segmented in your big operation, but
Right.
You know, it would cost too much money for them to do that, so they don't do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? It would cost too much in staffing.
Well, that's where the quality, the top shelf quality comes
Exactly.
from. It needs to happen.
You need staffing for quality,
You
unfortunately.
need staffing and quality, and this is something too that investors really gotta.
They don't want to hear.
understand. Well, I don't care if they want to hear.
I
They
know.
want fire shit.
Trust
this
me.
is what needs to happen.
They don't, and that's the main problem here. Like, that's what I'm saying. I talked to a lot of these people that are my competitors, and they're not concerned about fire. They're concerned about weight.
I know.
I love it. I love hearing it. I love hearing it because anyone can throw weight. That's the easiest thing to do is
Easy
grow
shit.
weight. I can grow weight. That's fine. But that doesn't sell, because guess what? Someone doesn't walk in and buy 100 pounds at a clip. They're buying small samples at a rec level. You're not buying fucking huge samples. Even if you buy an ounce, you're probably going to buy 4 different strains to get an ounce.
Right. Yeah, I don't understand. It doesn't matter if I go. Why? Oh. To be able to supply that specific type for an extended period of time.
What? What do you mean?
Like, as far as weight, to be more.
No, they only care. No, what I mean is they only care about numbers. They don't give a fuck about quality.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, because they're chopping it down. They're not selling it in bulk. They're chopping it down, so they got, this like backstock of this specific type, and they'll just continue selling that.
They just care about the top weight put out. They don't like say a
Yeah,
specific.
units. They're just talking about It's just units to them.
So it doesn't trickle down to craft when you start running a business that way in this industry. So,
It can. You just gotta. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear industry assembly line type shit. They don't want to hear.
Which is fine, and that's why there's certain business models that fit that, and you have to grow just certain strains all the time, lots of them, to hit your numbers, and that's fine. But my crowd that I'm after isn't after that type of weed. You know, I got that crowd that goes to the vineyard and gets a wine tasting. They like all different kinds of good shit.
Yeah.
They don't just want a bunch of some shit. These guys just want a bunch of some shit. So, you know, that's who you're competing with when you're not. Well, that's who I'm competing with, is a bunch of guys like that. So that's why I get excited about getting started, because it's like I can't wait. Half the competition's fucking dumb. It's a great head start for me, and I've met them. So it is what it is, you know. They're not bad people, but
No, trust me. It's been visiting, like, you know, multi-million-dollar facilities has, in different locations, has really confirmed what I thought, you know, like, is happening, where the investors are holding power when forces cultivators to actually do shit that they're just trying to pump out more shit, and you know, if it's fucked during the way, fuck it, you know, or make sure we just pass the test and we good, and just crank it out. Like, I've seen it, just almost looks like a straight up like horror shop in a way. Like, they're just like mad scissoring it, throwing it through like the fucking tumbler, blah blah, in and
machines,
out,
machine chop.
you know, I'm like looking in this room, my eyes like open, like look at all that crazy shit. I was like, all right, whatever. But that's, you know, and the reason they're doing that is because, and the, you know, from the words of head cultivators themselves, it's like, this is not how I would normally do this, but the investors are pushing us, and there's nothing we can do. We just gotta like work through this shit. It's sad. It's sad, and they end up getting on the shelves and making that first money, because that's what this game right now is also too. And that, I think there's got to be a slight give and take with that, is that the first ones there are gonna make the big money, and then secondary and third, all that shit like that.
But that's part of risk investments, and you know, they're taking the highest risk being the first ones.
Stock market's like, that's all they're doing is buying cannabis stock markets, stocks and shit. Yeah. Mainly all Canadian too.
Yeah. I'm not worried about any of that shit right now, man. I can't even pay attention to that. All I've been doing is my own problem solving every day, trying to get things
Maybe we should
situated.
up another country.
Yeah. So.
What's Switzerland doing? Let's hit up the Swiss. Come invest.
So yeah. But what else is new? What else is going on?
Fuck, man. Alright, shit. Well, I'm, you know, getting ready for outdoors too. Well, I mean, not getting ready. Got a little garden at a friendly neighborhood somewhere.
Nice. What are you doing this year?
I've got some. Actually, I've do some mimosa outside. I'm actually gonna put a purple dino out there to see how she does.
No, nice.
That's gonna be really cool. I'm gonna probably throw out. I still got time to throw out like maybe some gelato. See how she does.
Nice.
Nothing crazy, but definitely I ended up putting a whole like about 3 or 4 mimosas. It's kind of she's so tasty. I just want she's tasty indoors. I want to see how she is outdoors anyway. But this is New England. It's really difficult doing this shit outdoors, yo. But it's so much fun though.
Yeah.
Like it's a good experience, I think, for anybody to do. So I've been thinking about too, like even like like little ones, like backyard ones. Talking about maybe standing like maybe like 5 feet tall, like maybe half hoop house looking, and then just not like fog plastic, like frosted plastic and shit, so you can't see through it, and just having like a vent. That's it. Like keep them, and you can end up doing like because it's 5 feet. You can end up very easily doing like that to like force to get 2 like cycles out of there.
Right.
And they're not gonna be tall either because you're already doing them. From a short height too, just to kind of like get it through. I think it'd be pretty dope. They're very easy. Like I think I want to see. I'm gonna try to do some building around and put the instructions online and shit. It'll be like, look, just do it yourself. Put it all together. I mean,
why don't you dig down about 6 feet, maybe 5 feet?
Yeah. That's more for wintertime though. I think that like the sub kind of garden. Yeah, that's more for like wintertime. For originally more for middle America because of the plains in the wintertime, so it didn't freeze like 6 to 8 feet down. So we dig like a long trench, kind of like
Yeah.
and then they ended up covering it with plastic too to kind of keep the warmth inside too. We grow tomatoes all year round. It's just pretty fire. Now, I always want to do that with weed too, but not yet. I don't have the opportunity for that yet. But this, like a little something like 5 feet, nothing. Not even like I said, not even like full hoop house. Like half of one. You could put like pressed up against like your fence or your back porch or something like that. Like
if you got cool neighbors.
Yeah, but that's why you got you never know. Maybe too cool. That's why I said like frosted plastic. You don't know what I got in there. It's just a little greenhouse.
Yeah, they can't smell it, right?
Nah, you just gotta. It's as much as you want. You just gotta stay away from some gas. Like that's the deal. If you're cool to go for as gassy as possible. I would love to, but I gotta watch. I can't go for the gas.
So I like them fruity strains. I got close neighbors. Back in the day, I used to grow really bad. Like, there was this one strain called Hammerhead. I do not recall what the fuck it was made of, but it was a long time ago. I mean, it smelled so skunky. I mean, really, like, you could smell it fucking a block away. You could smell my house.
Jeez.
I had filters up the ass. I had a filter upstairs by our door because we were that concerned about it, and it wasn't helping.
Oh my god, that's the worst.
I bought a bunch of those Ona gel buckets. You ever see the Ona gel?
Yeah.
I had those things all over the fucking house.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing.
More shit and
Was
just
getting the sanitizers and the sprays. Nothing, dude. It was horrible. I could not grow it again. I did not have permission. Did not have permission to do that again.
I understand what you mean.
It was bad. I mean, I felt bad, and I typically don't give a fuck. I mean, I felt bad. It was pungent. Luckily, we didn't have, a child, so we didn't have to worry about it. But she did work at a hospital.
Yeah. Damn, that sucks too, cause I want to grow. You just can't. It's just unless you can.
I mean, if you got the right setup, you can. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't have the right setup.
I think I'm able to now, especially with tents too. With tents, you're able to like really like lock it in.
Yeah, a tent you should get an overpowering, oversized, filter. You should be all set, especially you keep it outside the room.
It's pumping out too. You got like a second lung room and shit like that too, so that clean that air too before it even goes outside.
But still, even those small wafts that get out as people come in and out of the room reek the house up.
Oh man.
We're like, oh my god, he's smoking down there? No, that's just the fucking skunky ass plants.
'Cause my shit dank. That's why. Dank. Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, I like them fruity strains. Ooh, your house
like
always
that.
smells so good.
Yeah, so that's why I've been like, not. This one I just did too. Lemon Haze OG. The name honestly was completely not what I thought it was gonna come out of. I really thought it was gonna be like some
Surprise, surprise.
lemony something kind of chirpy like that. It wasn't. It was thicker, frosty. I did like it. It wasn't overly leafy. It was cool. Sweeter smell, but a heavy slap. Like a heavy, like when she hits you, it's like I was like, oh shit. I've had a few joints where I had to like put them out at the end. Like I was like, holy shit. So that was surprising about that one. But even with the name, I was like, Lemon Haze OG. Like,
Right.
it's like, what the? I was like, holy shit. This is like, and it wasn't just me. Like a few people were like the same thing. Like, holy shit. It's like, yo, that like the other one smelled better, the glue sauce, but the Lemon Haze OG. Both of them I got at Gene Traders. One I ended up getting from, no names. Well, I ended up getting one from one time, and I just happened to keep it alive. And then I just got this one from like 2 Gene Traders ago, something like that. But yeah, really surprised. Really was surprised. I like it. But I wish it was like more of a. I wish it was gassy though. I got front, yo. I want some gas. I want to grow some gas, yo. But that shit's so like. And that shit gets on you too. Does it smell or is it me?
No, it stinks. You get immune to it. It fucking stinks.
Yo, you smell that? It's like, no.
You ever smell like a fucking drunk person with that booze breath?
Yeah.
And it's horrible?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like weed, imagine that but times 10, because it really comes off of you, especially if you work in a garden and you got like fucking broken resin heads all over your arms and shit, and like you're just like covered in resin. Then you go to Walmart. I'm talking about something that I've done plenty of times. Like I've gone to Walmart with like
still on you and shit.
Yeah, like my arm hairs look like I just fucking jizzed on them, but it's really just because I got fucking resin all over them. And like I know I stink. I know I do, but I don't give a fuck. Whatever. I go to Walmart. I'm with God's gifts to fucking earth with everyone else there. So, but I've gotten like plenty of fucking looks like from people that you wouldn't expect it from, that are just like repulsed.
Repulsed? How dank your shit is?
Just like, holy Jesus Christ, dude. Like, really?
I was like, dude, it's like.
I used to go to work, but you know what? I used to go to work like that. I used to go. Dude, I worked at the post office. I would go. I would come wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, go work in my garden right here that we're sitting in. Full buds. Full week 8 buds. I'd still be in there fucking tinkering around in my uniform.
Yeah.
Right before I gotta go punch in. Like, I know I would be standing there. I know this for a fact because people would tell me all the time, dude, you fucking stink. Like, you smell awesome, but holy shit, you stink. Like, dude, wow. Like, yeah. My union president came up to me one day and was like, hey, seriously, dude. Like, yeah, it's awesome, but you really, like, you're really smelling like bad. Like, you smell really guilty of something. I was like, I can't help it.
Yeah.
I just can't help it. I fucking, just I could have helped it, but
Yeah, you didn't want to help.
I didn't want to help it.
I go through some serious lengths to like. I put on like I got this other hoodie thing like that with gloves, and I'm like, this and that, trying to avoid all that shit, man.
You know what's funny? When I first started going to meetings and stuff and talking to these people, like investors and shit, I was going like all careful and like not smoked up. Like I like to drive to my destination, high. That's just what I prefer. Yeah. And I just wouldn't do it because I didn't want to smell like weed. Like I was afraid of smelling like weed. After a couple presentations, I was like, you know what? Why would I be afraid of smelling like weed to these fucking guys who are trying to make money off weed?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then a light bulb went off in my head. I'm like, yeah, why do I give a fuck? And it's been going better ever since, but don't give a fuck. Don't overthink it is the point.
Yeah. Don't.
I know that was random, but dun. The whole thing's random. This whole fucking life is random.
What was that? Oh my god. Austin Powers. One of the villains was called Random Task.
I don't remember that one.
Yo.
Random Task?
Yo, that was a supervillain name. Parody supervillain. Random Task. Because there was a Bond one that his name was kind of something similar like that. It was kind of like...
Random Task. It wasn't the Chinese guy who threw the boot, right? Or the hat.
Yeah, it was... The original one was, I think, like a Bond one, and he threw the hat, because the hat was a blade.
Yeah.
But the Austin Power ones, he threw his shoe. Who throws a shoe?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
But that's who Random Task was? It was
Random
so I
Task.
nailed it.
Yeah,
Oh, sweet.
You did. You got it, yeah.
Ha. Because I don't know any other besides Fat Bastard.
Ugh, gross.
Super gross. Ugh. You know what's disappointing? You see all the movies they're coming out with now?
What do you mean?
0 original movies come out. Like, they're making Aladdin again.
Oh, I seen it.
Like, they just keep remaking shit from, like...
I want to see they did Lion King, like with like real looking lions.
Yeah,
and shit
fuck
like
that shit.
No, like it's supposed to be like exactly like
Yeah,
the movie.
that's great, but how about some new ideas?
This is Disney. What are you talking about?
Exactly, it's Disney.
Yeah,
Stop making old shit.
this is what they do.
They suck.
Dude, it looks pretty cool. I'm gonna go see it. I seen Aladdin. It was cool. I was alright. I went to go see Aladdin because my wife really wanted to go see it. She was like a big, fan. Like I don't get me wrong. I love the original one, the cartoon.
Yeah, the cartoon.
Right, but this one, it was cool. It was cool. It was cool. My wife loved it. Like, but I really want to see the Lion King. It says like just like circle, like but actual animals.
I can't. I'm just...
They're so dope.
I think it's corny as fuck. Not that the movies... I'm sure the movies are great. But I'm just like, what the fuck? Where's the new shit? Stop bringing up old shit.
Besides,
We need some
comic
new
book
stories. Oh, those are the worst. Oh my god.
Man.
Get those things away from me.
The horror films are the worst because they end up making them like PG-13.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Yo, it sucks so bad.
But those old...
Pet
they've
Cemetery.
always been bad.
The remake, the new Pet Cemetery, the remake, whatever like that. This just sucks. They changed.
Standards of horror have changed. They're weak.
It's like one or two specific like details. I feel like I should spoil it. Do you care?
Dude, I don't give a fuck.
All right, well, fuck it. If you didn't watch it, oh well. Don't watch it. Listen, so you remember the original Pet Cemetery, right? Where the kid ended up getting hit, right? And you see the fucking, like, the drag blood mark, you know what I'm saying? Like, horror film shit, right? Yo, it wasn't the kid that got hit. It was the little girl that ended up getting hit. And they didn't show it. It just kind of, like, flash screen. and all you seen her was on the side of the road, laying in the grass. And that's the one that ended up coming back to life, blah, blah, that whole deal like that. But it was weird because it wasn't like, by the end of the movie, ended up being not just the little girl, ended up being the mom, the little brother, and the dad. Like the whole, like now there's like a whole family of this shit. Like they're about to make like a sitcom or this shit.
Sitcom.
Yo, like the comeback family.
The comeback kids.
So.
Oh my God.
That slight change from being, because I was waiting, because I knew remember the original, and I was waiting for the boy to get hit, stumble across it and get fucking dragged, like, and, it's just like his little like baby head just kind of, asphalt like skin across that shit. Nah.
I don't know.
It got me with that switch, this like that, but I was pissed about it afterwards. I was like,
I don't need to be reintroduced to old stories. That's all.
yeah.
If we start the movie Aladdin, I'm pretty sure I know what the ending is.
I'm liking the comic book movies at least.
Oh my God. I can't do those.
I do them all.
I cannot. I can't sit there and see a 2018 Toyota sitting there and then a guy shoots fucking plasma out of his hands. Like, to me, it hurts my head to see that type of shit. I can't mix fantasy with real. It does. I hate it.
Yeah, but isn't that what a lot of this is anyway? Even all the sci-fi shit.
But sci-fi is completely fictional. It's completely fantasy. Like Game of Thrones, that's all fantasy. You don't see oh, there's my car. Like, it's fantasy. You can take your mind and leave with it. That's great.
Yeah.
I just think it's like the CGI and shit for all these superhero movies. I'm not into it. I know a lot of people love it. It's great.
I love it.
I just
fucking love it.
I've always been like,
I know
thumbs down.
I know that it's a big money maker right now. The comic book, like, it's big. It's like you end up having
yeah, because comic books aren't big money makers anymore. Now it's just the movies and the toys.
The movie version of So
because kids don't read anymore.
What
fucking little
the Comic Con? The Comic Cons are fucking like just some
because of the movies.
Like it's
because of the movies,
yeah.
Not because of comic books anymore.
No, it's because of the movies. 100%. I agree with you.
Which is fine.
It's brought like a lot of people, not true believers. That's what.
Yeah.
The separation from really like true believers and not true believers, like so past.
It's completely silly for me to sit here and tell you my preferences in fairy tales. Look, it doesn't matter either way. I get it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. But I'm just saying.
It's all escape. It's all fantasy. But you know what? This gives us ideas too. Regardless if of the type of genre, like stuff that isn't like actually real, that we're just thinking about like that, fuels our future ideas, because we have cell phones. That came from an idea from science fiction. That's how it came about. Somebody thought about some device that can talk to this guy, blah blah, and then, damn, that'd be cool if we actually did have that.
Yeah, but that's also a leap at point, and that argument can be presented, but it can also be presented as a leap too, because we can sit here right now and say in the year 2019, we can say they're gonna have floating whatever, like, pick something. We're gonna have fucking floating cars someday.
Yeah,
you can throw some crazy shit out there.
Right, but there's stuff that has come to
right, because of Star Trek.
Right.
There was a
and once like everybody wants to travel faster in space, so somebody's out there trying to figure. Some kid out there is gonna end up putting those numbers, that formula together to actually make it happen. And he's gonna end up, he or she.
Well, he's not gonna
end up watching some sci-fi stuff and really think about all this stuff, like. And
but
really
he's not gonna hatch a dragon.
No,
he's not gonna
hatch a dragon.
He's not gonna have Dr. X come down and fucking make out, whatever them.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Phoenix one, that's gonna be dope. Yo, she's so crazy.
Who?
The Phoenix.
Phoenix.
X-Men.
Sorry.
So I grew up reading these comic books. I know, a great deal about their backstories. Because I read and I sat there and read the comic books because I grew up in my teenage years and before like that. But in the 90s and stuff like that. I'm an 80. I was born in 1980. So I grew up before the internet, before cell phones.
Me too.
Before pagers.
Yep.
And I grew up into all
I
that
watched
shit.
all those things come and go. It's funny, huh?
Yeah, even CDs too.
I know, right?
I'm so glad CDs are over. Fuck CDs, yo.
I was building up a nice collection at some point.
Remember them big ass books?
Oh yeah, man.
Holy shit. Oh, I hate those things now. Yeah. So, I got a 6. Don't worry about it. We good.
Yeah, we got a 6 changer in my car. But the changer's in the trunk. Hold on.
Yeah.
See those go.
Oh man, I never understood that one. I was like, yo, why would you do that?
Why is your CD changer in the fucking trunk of your?
You see the trunk, and that was like a normal thing to happen to. I never understood that either.
Remember when everyone would deck out their fucking whole trunk with a bass system?
There's still out there somewhere. It's not like it used to be.
No, but remember it was everyone.
Everybody.
I mean, dude.
That was the 90s. That was definitely 90s. Like everybody was trying to have a 15. Like at least you had to have 212. Like, yeah.
Crazy times.
Yeah, no, that's not like that anymore.
Even like I don't.
Things kind of staled out a little bit.
Do people even get new fucking like faceplates from the radios anymore?
No.
Because
they just get a radio, and if anything, they Bluetooth with their phone.
Yeah, like everything's
attached to the phone. Yeah.
Plus, all these new cars, everything's right in the dash.
Right.
The navigation system and stuff. Like, you can't even pull out the radio and put it in an Alpine or.
Nah.
Remember the fucking.
You gotta pull out the.
Do you remember when I had a Chameleon? Remember those?
No.
The fucking faceplate that would turn all black.
Oh yeah. Mine. Yeah.
And it would fucking turn around.
Yeah.
I remember I felt so cool being in high school and having my fucking radio faceplate because it would detach.
Oh shit! Mine just ended up like closing up and just being like a blank, because mine shit was touch like.
Yeah, that's how my Chameleon was, but I had like a fucking, I think it was Alpine or something, but you could take the fucking faceplate off and it had a little case.
Yeah.
And I had it in my backpack and I would like take it out at lunch and like.
What movie was that? The MacGruber. Did you see that one?
MacGruber. No.
Yo, you gotta watch it. It's some like slaps like, yo, watch. You'd be like, he takes out the ring.
He brings out his radio.
It's not just a play. He pulls out the whole thing like a little suitcase.
Oh, nice.
Yo, like it's like yeah, MacGruber. Holy
Nice.
shit, that movie's fucking hilarious.
Oh man.
Oh man, this is good.
Well. Anyways,
Yeah.
wrap this up.
Yeah, man. It's been fun.
Well, we're gonna record next week again if you're free. Bond
I'm down for
Bond
sure.
wants to record.
No doubt.
He
Yeah,
was-
so for sure we're gonna end up trying to make this a bit more frequent because now that as far as for me, now it's summertime. Things. Besides garden stuff, which is, there's not much else really. It's really difficult to cultivate indoors during summer times because the AC costs a lot of money. But thank goodness now the LEDs are
but
actually finally like.
Yeah, but you're a good enough cultivator where that overhead's taken care of.
Yeah, I know, but it's just such a fucking pain in the ass, man.
No, it's worth it.
Honestly, it's kind of nice taking off for the summer. Don't have to worry about. I can leave for more than 3 days.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
I can leave.
That's something I can't speak much about because
It's
I'm
incredibly
looped
difficult.
in. I am in touch with my plants at all times.
It could be done. You can end up just, you just gotta time it right. But
Yes, of course. There's
but it's not difficult, to be honest with you, to like time it right. Like
no, it just takes planning.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have the freedom to be like,
But
out.
listen, you can end up getting a way to like to Puerto Rico for like $1,000 for like 3-4 days. Plane ticket, car, Airbnb, or hotel, whatever like that, for like $1,000. So that's always a possibility. For sure. But yeah, I don't like growing to the summertime, to be honest with you. I wish it'll change though.
I'm like the United States Postal Service. Rain, snow, don't fucking matter.
Yeah.
I'm always growing.
I think it's got to change things up too with the LEDs more. Go full more LEDs and very little HPS is just kind of.
I'm on the full LED ride right now, man.
Yeah. How you liking it so far now? How
Love
long
it.
has it been?
Almost a year.
Almost a year. How's the report on that? On LEDs, not specific on any specific type, but just.
Well, it has to be specific type. I've been growing with LEDs for years.
Yeah.
So, but on this specific type that I'm using now, it's fucking results are really like coming in strong now. Now that I'm really zeroing in the system,
Yeah.
it's fucking nice.
How many cycles?
And efficient as fuck.
How many cycles now?
5.
5 cycles. Nice.
But the efficiency is there.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
That's dope, though. I'm trying to figure out which way I wanna. I might end up going like with the rails.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe out of popularity, but maybe like I just like how they work too, like the evenness of it too, and it's how really fucking bright. They're too bright for veg, but they're amazing for flower.
Why would they be too bright for veg?
Because they're too bright for veg.
Why?
I don't know. They're not reacting well to it.
No.
No, not during veg. So you gotta actually like space them out, or not have some of them like that during the veg cycle. It's weird. It's just I don't know. It's too much.
Back off the light. Or is it at the max height?
That's this is what a different amount of people have been telling me about it. That you can end up turning one of them into 2 for veg. And that's even more better. That's actually better, like
Turn 1 into 2. Turn 1 light into 2 lights.
stretch them out, yeah. So you're just spacing them more. So, because I've noticed that too with the LEDs, like they love in veg, and it's not like a lot of output either. Like they're just like bursting. I'm like, it's pretty awesome. But once you end up having, put it on flower, you gotta like be like high, consistent. You can't fuck around to like, it's all right.
Yeah, the most important thing is just knowing the metabolism under LEDs. That's the most important thing. Knowing your dry down cycle is a lot different from your HPS cycle.
Yeah.
Understanding that, if you figure that out, then you'll figure out the mapping of how you're going to feed your plant, when to give what, when you should be adding certain things.
Yeah.
And cutting back certain things at certain times. Once you can figure that shit out under the LED, I can't imagine going backwards from LED right now.
No, I'm going towards LED because it's just more cost efficient. The same reason that all businesses out there are looking to become either green or solar panel. It's not because they give a shit about the environment. It's because it's more cost efficient. They're changing to the light sensor things to turn on the lights and LED light bulbs and stuff like that to save money on energy and be more efficient. That's why they're going more green. It's because of money.
Right.
Which makes sense. That's the reason I don't want to grow during the summertime because I don't want to pay all that, fucking high electric bill on, keeping the shit cool. Because it's like 24/7. Well, not 24/7, but, during like the 12. Shit costs money. It makes money back. I know.
Make that shit, you make that a giant veg cycle. July and August.
Yeah.
Don't heat ain't gonna hurt. Neither will the humidity.
That's true.
Veg it out.
I might end up scrogging some shit out though. Like I'm actually going to play the scrog game for a little bit and pack it into. I'm actually, you know
It's
what?
nice.
I might end up. I'm maxing CO2 as well. I'm just trying to like. I've been for the past, I think like 2 years. I've been actually just kind of like, just kind of hunting and experimenting on like pulling out, natural flavor profiles and just like letting the plant do, not trying to max her out for the yield and stuff like that, and like, doing some manipulation, but not like, full on like I'm really gonna dig into her. I'm kind of done with that right now.
What, trying to max out?
Now I'm gonna just try to like.
Or now you want to max out?
Yeah, not max out, but like good, healthy like return.
Yeah.
With, I think I know enough now to have a decent return with less work. Yeah, I feel what I mean. Like.
Yeah. You've got definitely a lot more experience to apply now to get your returns up.
Right. I don't have to. Yeah. So, no, yeah, I am going to actually. I'm just gonna like not do like I was doing before. I think concentrate on a few flavors.
I'm trying to do that right now. I have way too many, but I'm in a hunt, so I think I got 17.
Well, maybe it's time too. Maybe it's time to hunt now too, and be real picky with shit.
That's what I'm doing.
Have like a you know what? Actually, there's actually a new way that I think about like actually did hunting is gonna be just doing it all through solo cups. That's it.
That's how you can flavor hunt. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, top at least once.
Yeah, but you're limited on that hunt. That's a good terpene profile hunt, though.
You don't think it's good for trying to hunt like?
You're not gonna know how that plant structure is gonna be. Some plants grow completely different, which will give you different yields. Solo cup grow, you're not gonna be able to judge too much what your yield is gonna be on, say, a mid-sized plant in a 10, 15 gallon pot. Unless you really bush out a solo cup and work it hard, but then it's like, what's the point?
No, that's not what I just.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You can.
Well, you know what?
That's a great way to find flavors and to find.
Well, then
terps.
you know what? That's what I want to do though.
Well, then yeah,
because
you're terp
terp
hunting.
Isn't that what we actually kind of like just, really go? I know the
Right,
the
but
weight
some-
part like that, but we're trying to like combination. But we got to start at the flavor first, because we can find
True,
places.
but there's
weight.
Even before you hit cross over the non-profit margin, there's a cost that has to be covered to produce it.
Yes.
And it is true. You can come across strains that will give you some of the most incredible tasting shit, and it literally won't cover its fucking overhead.
That's true as well.
And you can't have a whole room of those.
No.
Then you're at a loss, and nothing gets done. So
I think I know the structure where I can kind of pick something.
I know, but I think a solo cup hunt limits your ability to really do that.
Well, to know the full thing until I actually do.
At least like a
Grow
5
it out.
gallon,
Yeah.
like even a 3 gallon
Even a 3.
plant will at least give you enough node spacing to see how this plant sets up,
Right.
how it hits stretch when you flip it. Some plants go completely bonkers. They go triple their
Right.
biomass size.
Well, but the solo cup will be just that. Step for one, just finding out the flavor first, and then after that, taking those phenos that ended up getting that flavor and actually figuring out if they,
Some plants grow like shit.
they do.
and
Say lettuce.
like you said, yeah, it's all about the flavor, but at the same time, you got to grow that shit. And if it's a pain in the ass, I mean, who wants to deal with that?
Yeah.
Especially when there's so many varieties out there that are a joy to grow and handle
yeah.
and cultivate all the way through. it's like you can skip over some of the pain in the asses.
Some are just such a cakewalk too.
Oh, so easy. And some
like, oh, you're awesome. I like you.
Oh, and some of the worst. Some make you question why. Why did I spend all this time getting excited about you? I fucking hate you.
Fucking
I'm sitting here for 6 hours on this plant, and I hate you. Get me out of this fucking room.
Jeez.
Yeah, some strains suck with all the extra foliage and But then those are the strains that give you them fucking returns on your hash.
Hash. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's gives, it takes, it's.
Yeah. But you know what? Yeah, I'm still gonna do solo.
I'm not trying to deter you. I'm not trying to deter you.
Terp shit, that's fine. That's fine. You're correct though, because you do gotta But I think I'm gonna start there, so I know I have already the flavor thing.
Yeah, that you like. Yeah, that's a good start.
And
that's
then
the main,
now,
and because that's the main thing.
So taste good. Yeah, and now I'm like, all right,
Yeah, but then you'll narrow that down to 3, and then you can grow out 3 plants mid-size.
Right. And that's the next cycle.
But yeah,
because it's tough because we end up having so much limited space on how you can end up actually really hunt some shit down. And there's so many different varieties out there. It's damn near impossible to do them all. I'll have seeds till I'm 80.
Oh, I can't. Well, I mean, if I open my facility soon enough, I'll be able to hatch through everything. But other than that, there's no way I'm going hobby style and going through all my seeds. I can't. I would have to never clone again, or go completely illegal.
You just gotta go through them. Just cycle them in and out.
That's what I do. I mean, like I said, I got fucking 17 individual cultivars.
Jeez.
Hunting through right now.
Nah, I think I'm gonna go down to 3. I was doing about 5, 6 different ones. I'm gonna go down to just 3 for a little bit. I'm just gonna
I love the days of doing 1.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna stick to 3, but I'm gonna hunt. That's why I'm still gonna do the. I'm gonna hunt. I'm trying to hunt for the winter time. Actually, is what this really ends up being. Because I'm gonna end up popping a whole bunch of them. See how they are. It's gonna take obviously through the summertime, and then once winter time comes in, I already know which one I might end up see which one's got some shit. Which are the fat bitches.
I like to do one big hunt annually, and then after that, ride out the winners for the year until the next hunt. Just to try to change up varieties.
Alright, Ski.
Thanks, everybody.
It's another session in their books. Stay tuned. More to come.
Yep. See y'all.
Peace.
End of session. The Joint Committee thanks you for listening.